It's going.
Going? So I know this is kind of a review. We got the camera going now. So Chairman Dutch, Robert and Judy Adams from Tennessee.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Kentucky, I keep saying
Thank you
Kentucky.
for thinking of
He
us.
wants us to be in Tennessee.
Oh, my.
So we are receiving a 1856 silver speaking trumpet that belonged to Mr. Adams' great-great-grandfather. I'll read the description again, camera. And it's dated December 25th, 1856, inscribed presented to P.C. Adams, foreman, by the members and friends, Eagle Hook and Ladder Company, number 1, as a token of the appreciation in which they hold him as an officer, fireman, and friend, Paterson, New Jersey, December 25th, 1856. And as we mentioned, this appeared on Antique Roadshow 28 years ago, where it was appraised between $10,000 and $12,000. So the home is very appreciative of this. We thank you for thinking of us. This was set up through Mr. Dayspring, who did a huge donation to the museum years ago.
Yes.
So I will, if you want to present this to Mr. Dutch, and we have the paperwork for you guys.
We're very happy.
This is nicer than the one I had when I was with Ben Franklin.
Let me tell you just a little about who this person was. He's buried in Paterson in the Cedar Lawn Cemetery. There's an obelisk about as tall as the ceiling out there with consecutive circles with people he used to work for and with his.
Work for his father.
His father and he came to this country. His father came to this country around
27.
And they were one of the pioneers in the paper industry. And they had paper mills. One was in Paterson, one was in Manchester, Connecticut, one was somewhere up on the Hudson River. And they had an office in New York City, and they were quite well-to-do, to say the least. And he apparently was a volunteer in the fire department in Paterson. And since he lived in Manchester, where we have the handwritten diary of his daughter.
Of his, oh yeah.
Of his daughter. There are 4 or 5 handwritten diaries from who knows when.
1876.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she's done all the work. She's done all the history, and we've got quite a lot of genealogy interest about. But it's just not something that fell into my hands.
Sure.
My grandfather had it, and I've had it for at least 40 years because he's been dead for more than 40 years, and I can't remember exactly when he gave it to me. But I just want to give you some feel for what it is. It meant a lot to me, and the reason this is happening is because about 2014 I had severe lymphoma and almost died, and then I thought, well, there's things I should have done and didn't do. Well, I didn't do some of them. 2 years ago I had a heart attack, and I thought, I got to do it this time. And my kids didn't want it, and we thought, well, I have no use for it. I have no way to use this thing. This is my 10-minute later thing. Let me tell you about. That's to tell me to put my eye drops in.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Okay. Peter C. Adams, to whom this trumpet was presented, he worked the paper company, but he lived in Paterson and was a volunteer fireman. And he was about 24 years old when this was presented, and he died about 15 years later. So his widow is the one who wrote all the diaries, and they lived in Paterson for part of the time, and they lived in Manchester for part of the time. But it's been a family heirloom. But our son said essentially it belongs in a museum, and that's how I started looking for something that was Paterson Historical Society or whatever, and I found this wonderful place and felt this is where it
I have
belongs.
no idea how big and elaborate this place is.
This is
I
Thank you.
have no idea. This is
It's a real diamond.
it's a wonderful place to leave it, and I'm sure it'll be cared for a long time.
Do you have any
That's the
idea?
main thing, because we have 3 children and no grandchildren, and one grandson was not interested.
I know,
It would have
I know,
been thrown away. It would have been thrown away.
I know what I was gonna say. We sent it, but Tom Dayspring already had it. There's a description of a fireman's soiree, which took place that December where this was presented, and that is on your website. And our understanding from Tom Dayspring is that that was the occasion on which Peter C. Adams was elevated to captain. So he was elevated to captain as of like January 1st of 1857, but this was the event that they
Gotcha.
announced that.
Have you been in touch with Mr. Dayspring lately?
Yes.
Down in Virginia?
Yes, that's how we knew this all got arranged through that. We sent him photographs of the trumpet, and he was very excited to
And
see
you
it.
reached out to me and.
And he's already added a picture of Peter Adams and the trumpet and other things to the website. So,
Super.
yeah, so take a look at your website, you can see it again.
I sent him pictures of this in various stages of detarnishing. I didn't show him the first one, which looked like several of the ones you have out here. You know, they were after we were at the road show 25 or 28 years ago, whatever it was not touched. It was set in our living room, and they collected tarnish for 28 years, and it turned black. And 2 weeks ago, I started cleaning it, and I sent Tom pictures of it, and I thought, well, this looks fairly good. And then he said, well, you did a pretty good job. So I thought, pretty good wasn't good enough for me. So we polished it and polished it and polished it, and it came out. It's a beautiful thing. I've never seen it that clean before.
It's lovely.
Anyway,
You're gonna have to find out what he
information.
polishes that with, so you can take care of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Mr. Veras is our superintendent here.
Thank you.
At any rate, that's what it is, and we're glad to give it somewhere where it'll have a good home.
Yeah, we
And
appreciate it.
somebody will, we have some other things we have that we don't know what to do with, and we don't know anybody who would appreciate some of these things. So, we're glad to do this.
Oh,
So,
it's very, very thankful.
thank you for taking.
Thank you.
Take care of him.
Roger, get a picture?
Yeah, we got pictures. Hold that a second. Here.
I think that's
There we go.
I have a post in various stages, and I made a video of,
You need to sign this picture.
I gave Roger a video
Okay.
that you can play on a DVD. And
Yeah.
it starts with a turntable, and it
Probably
moves
do,
the parakeet
yes.
around at the base, and in the middle.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a copy of that too.
Dr. Green, send me this one, test that.
Yes, we did, we actually started in we stayed in West Marsh last night, yes. Yes, oh yeah, well, from here on up to middle. Sure.
Mr. President? Good morning, how you doing? No, I'll go around.
Put this in the back of the room for the meeting.
Very nice. Very nice meeting you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very appreciated.
Thank you.
This is our museum chairman.
Oh, nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you for the donation. Very much.
I'll turn the camera off.
Okay.
We didn't get this because you came up behind us here. All right.